G'day parceros, welcome to the Callejon de Embudo, La Candelaria. Today I'm going to be walking through a brand new building designed for Airbnb, built by this guy. You first told me about it a few years ago. It's finally ready to show. We are here in between Monserrate and Guadalupe. We've got the BD Bogotá Centro downtown area, and then Candelaria, La Candelaria. And I'm here with Pedro on the roof of a building of Airbnb units that he is just putting the finishing touches on. Why this area?
Well, why not, Sam? I mean, we are in the historic center of Bogota. I always wanted to invest in Bogota, and I thought I wanted to be part of the revitalization of this area, and my location specifically is sitting between at least 20 universities, and we want to make this a co-living space for students and for young professionals.
All right, so we're going to walk through the building, talk about some of the investments, the obstacles. You know, you had to do some excavation, overcoming delays with the pandemic as well. So we're going to talk through that. Rental rates, ROI, you know, is it going to pay off? We'll see. They're also renovating a walk here into the mountains between that, so that's kind of a nice little position, a few blocks from the Parque de los Periodistas. Let's take a walk through the building and see what you got going on here. How long did it take you to pull off this building?
Well, I purchased the land about 4 years ago. Considering that we are in this is patrimonio, para patrimonio, we had to go to 3 different filters in order to get approval. So that took us over a year, which is longer than anticipated, but yeah. Okay.
So from finding the lot, and you got a pretty good deal on the lot, right?
Right, absolutely. I got it for about $80,000 at the exchange rate at the time.
All right, so this is the penthouse apartment.
Yes.
All right.
So this is about 35 square meters. It's our biggest apartment. It's on the 4th floor.
One of 20 apartments.
One of 20 apartments. As you can see, we have Monserrate here. Each of the apartments has a different vitral here.
I mean, this one has the view of both Guadalupe and Monserrate. Pretty cool.
Right, so it has Monserrate, and you could see visible in a good day, you could see Monserrate visible from here, from the penthouse.
Okay, so what do you expect to rent this one out for?
About $40 a night. Once we stabilize, probably earlier, $30 once starting rate.
Okay. All right, so you said you found a lot for about 80 grand, what, 4 years ago?
4 years ago, correct.
Okay,
and it took us about a year to get all the permits, Patrimonio, Ministerio de Cultura, and Curaduría. That was about a year.
Okay.
And then we started building about 2.5 years ago. Okay. To the date, and obviously it took us twice as long as we had anticipated, primarily because of the pandemic.
Yeah. All right. And you've got some nice local art here. Talk to us about how'd you get the design, construction of this?
Well, this is it's really, I mean, I have a number of investors here, but they are in the States, so I'm really a one-man show. So I handle all the details of those things. I partner with these guys who do the graffiti tours in Candelaria. They're those who did the art. Okay. And we are going to be doing graffiti tours starting in the building. So basically this is going to be the starting point. They're going to come and see the art and see that basically they have the opportunity to see the building then, and then continue the graffiti tour, so that way they'll able to see and nice. Stay here in the future. So
this is let's say one of the more like an average unit.
Right. So the average size, it's about 18 square meters. I think the smallest is 16, and the biggest is the one we just saw, the penthouse, which is about 35 meters. So on average, they're about 20 square meters.
So I mean, kitchenette, you get your workstation, bed, closet, bathroom as well. I've tested the water pressure, definitely decent as well. We'll do a quick little shower check here. Gets my approval. 2 meters and above. We got some room here. Not electric voltage box as well to risk lives during a shower either. So good gas, hot water pressure. Always a thumbs up. I mean, at the core of a great Airbnb is a great shower and a great bed.
Right, exactly. And again, the small apartments are small, but I mean, you've been here for a week. I mean, have you felt comfortable?
I've enjoyed it. I mean, it's harder to get a lot of comfortable apartments at scale in this area, right? Because you've either got to renovate or build new, and building new is not really an option in a lot of places.
Correct. And the good thing about here is that each of the apartments have its little magic. Like, I mean, they all have balconies. Those are towards the front. If you see the middle ones, they have internal balconies. Mm-hmm. So they're have, you know, like I said, they're little magic.
Okay, so let's take a look at the ground floor apartments, I guess. You got a terrace. You've got two apartments with a terrace.
Correct, on the first floor.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, the apartments on the first floor, these two have a nice terrace, so it's a nice, comfortable. This is where I have my morning coffee. I've stayed in, actually I've been in Colombia for about 3 weeks now. So I basically stayed in each of the apartments, doing my intel, see whatever little problems we have. And this is one of the ones that I enjoy the most.
Okay.
This apartment, obviously we're still missing some of the furniture. We are in the final touches.
So you were saying that when you were excavating, there were some delays.
Right. As you could see, like the excavation is one of the things that are more time consuming, and also that a lot of it's expensive, right? We had anticipated that it was going to take us about 2 weeks for the excavation. It ended up being a 2-month ordeal because of the instability of the neighboring houses, the lack of a solid foundation. Okay. So yeah, it took us about 2 months and put us on our budget for about $25,000. Between that and the pandemic, we were over budget for about $50,000. Half of that was just the excavation.
Okay, so all in, how much has this project costed?
Well, I mentioned I paid $80,000 for the lot, right? Uh-huh. Then about $300,000 to build, $340,000 including the furnishing of the apartments. So all in all, about a little bit over $400,000.
Okay. So, you know, we were running the numbers. It looks like, you know, with apartments between $25 to $40 a night, maybe 70% occupancy, 30% expenses, you're looking at maybe a 23% return once you're cash flowing.
Correct, given very conservative estimates, yes.
Okay. And there's a lot of hostels, there's a lot of accommodation in La Candelaria. Right. What's the plan to differentiate yourself?
Well, basically what we found out, it's a lot of people, especially tourists, they're willing to spend more on hostels, even though they may not be as comfortable as some of the Airbnbs, and that's because the experience that the hostels provide. So what we want to do here, it's captured the best of both worlds, right? We want to create an experience. That's why we're partnering with these guys who do the tours of the cities. We're partnering with the best nightclubs in the area. You know, in order to do different kinds of things. Some of the things that we're planning to do here are like salsa dancing, once a week, a yoga class, a number of different things in order to create that experience. But then once you decide that you're tired and you want to head back to your apartment, you have a private place where you don't have to deal with people snoring or sharing bathrooms or kitchens. This is the game area. Mm-hmm. That's the game area. We have the gym here. We have a sauna.
Handy, very handy for the Bogota chilly nights.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. We do have a chimney there as well, because like as you mentioned, it could get cold in Bogota, especially in the basement. So we have that nice chimney that was recently installed.
Yep. So okay, so you've gone for that sweet spot in between a hostel and Airbnb. Who do you expect is your clientele here? I mean, the great part of Centro Candelaria, you know, when I first moved to Colombia, I spent my first year in this area. You get a cross section of everybody. It's, you know, from your downtown kind of white collar workers to your students to your international travelers. You get quite a mix area.
Like we were mentioning, we sit in between the two mountains on Monserrate and Guadalupe. Those are building, and we have that body of water that's been revitalized. So yeah, I mentioned we wanna capture the best of both worlds, right? A hostel and the Airbnb experience. Sometimes being on an Airbnb could be a lonely experience. In addition to that, I mean, I'm not the first one who's offering like a student housing. We have over 20 universities, as I mentioned before. But I guess what makes this one more dynamic is that we are not we're not only going to have students here, but we want to kind of build like a co-living space that has been very successful in Colombia, especially in Medellin. And we're going to be able to attract a number of students. We have a mix, right? We're going to have some of the apartments that are going to be for students, right? We have 4 that have already been rented, and then the rest of them for the platforms, or like the Airbnbs, and our plan is to be able to attract, you know, young professionals for short or longer stays, and sort of let that we have a kitchen, a communal kitchen. So again, we want to kind of build that nice dynamic in which people
yeah, I think there's a lot of value to have a place you can go connect with people who are living, and you're not just surrounded by other people who are traveling and backpacking. So you get like a bit of a mix of the two. Right. So they're actually revitalizing a walk into the mountains here. I think that's where Peñalosa got a little lost in the mountains. So we're actually located on the edge of Lake Candelaria. Literally, there's a line. I think they're eventually going to be paving this.
Right. I don't know if paving it. I mean, yeah, a lot of people see it. It's not the most aesthetic, you know, the way we see it now. But the reason is that as part of the whole revitalization of the quebrada, the body of water, and they're gonna have such of like a nature walk. So right, so they're not gonna be able to build much further up. So again, this should have been done a couple of years ago, I guess, because of the pandemic. Things have been delayed, but I mean, this is going to be a great place. That's one of the reasons we did not sell it. Initially, when we started building, our plan was to sell. But then as we learned more, became more experts specifically in the downtown area, we realized no, the best thing we could do is rent, get some passive income, appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, well, once you have a cash flowing asset, you know, it's valued on the cap rate. So
right, exactly. That's the way to go. So I mean, again, the way to build financial independence is through passive income. So if my plan is not to sell, and if I were to sell, then I would sell it as an investment vehicle rather than buy apartment.
Yeah. Okay. So we're located a few blocks from the Parque de los Periodistas. We've got a new kind of organic market and plaza there as well. We've got an older building here. Now, we talked about this. You said you might have your eyes on it.
Right. No, absolutely. I'm good friends. I mean, I've been in this area for 4 years now, so I know everyone around the area. But the guy here is an older gentleman. He lives in the States, and he wants to sell this place. I had talked to him about the potential opportunity for us to partner. He's not interested. Again, he's older, so he wants to sell. So yeah, we have. I run the numbers on this place. I think we could, you know, it would cost about $300,000 to purchase it. Probably another $300K to just build, because they have huge apartments. Each of those apartments are like 120 meters. So what we need to do is it's sheetrock and do a lot of apartments. We could potentially have over 40 apartments here, a little bigger than my apartment, and and again, we build the expertise here. We have contacts. Again, like 3 years ago, I basically didn't know anybody, and right now we have contacts at Patrimonio, a lot of these entities. We know we're basically baptized by fire. We done a lot of learning, and I think this is a great opportunity.
Okay. All right. So I mean, it's been a lot more than you expected, right? So would you do it again?
Would I do it again? Yes. Would I have done things differently? Yes. Right. But no, absolutely. I mean, again, this is real estate. You have a tangible asset. I mean, right? It took me a year longer than expected. I spent $50,000 more than I had anticipated. But again, it's a tangible asset. It's unlike other investments where, you know, you have zero to show at the end. You know, so probably at my return, even under those circumstances of so much adversity and challenges, we're looking at, as you mentioned, 23% return. So
okay,
that's the greatness of real estate.
What would you say to someone who's considering doing the same thing, building a cash flowing asset in Colombia?
Call me. Call me. I'll help the process be less painful.
Alrighty, so there you have it. You know, where there is a will, there is a way. So a building that is now ready to go. I think we're going to leave your Instagram in the description.
Right.
If you want to book a place to stay, pretty affordable place to stay in, I'd say one of the most exciting parts of town, but also Colombia. I think the amount of interesting, surprising, random stuff per square mile is the highest here in Colombia, if not the world. Like it's, you know, visiting here after a few years outside of the city, and especially living in downtown, there's so much going on here. You just walk around and it's a feast for the senses. So, you know, check out his Instagram if you want to make a booking or get in contact with him. Maybe you want to take a adventure into some investments on the edge of the developing scene here in Colombia. So thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment, let me know what other things you'd like me to discuss around investments, Airbnb, all that good stuff. See you guys in the next one.